Everyone, on this episode of Tipple Theory, we're going to be talking about the Caipirinha.
Tipple theory is the exploration of history and practice of creating alcohol around the world. On this show, we'll share some of the history of how your favorite beverages came to be, as well as techniques professional bartenders use to elevate your poison of choice into an experience worth savoring.
Hello and welcome to Tipple Theory with your VSOP hosts. My name is Sean and...
My name is September.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
really.
Truly. Haven't changed it yet.
People just
One day
always
it'll
say,
be October.
really? Is that your name? Like, why would I say that otherwise? But okay.
Right? I'm not going to make any dumb jokes. But
All right.
What people should do, and what I'm going to tell you to do, is go to tippletheory.com today to find other episodes and ways that you can support us. I like joining Discord or Patreon and saying hi and asking questions. Could be like those. So today's topic is the Caipirinha. It's one of my favorite cocktails, which is why it's in this season of cocktails. It's like, well, I should put my favorite. But before we get to that, September, what you been up to?
Well, shitty stuff with my health, but whatever. I'm fixing it. But fun
Good.
things. My friend Shane, also known as Shave Maddox on Twitch, developed a game all by himself. It took him like 10 years. This game is great, and it dropped today. So you can go to Steam. It's called Gyro, Gyro. It's a 3D puzzle platformer. And it's like you're a little cleaning bot that is on an abandoned space station. And you're going around and you're cleaning up smudges. And as you progress, it gets harder and you get more little tools. And there are boss fights. I haven't gotten that far yet. And it's fun. It's challenging, but not. It's got this great ramp up to how hard it gets. Where I'm not pro gamer, right? And I'm bad at twitchy things, but I was getting the hang of using the inertia of my movement and just solving the puzzles. It's really good, and it's like $10.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a code because I'm covering it on a different show this weekend. I gave one away last night because I had a friend on Steam. Anybody who wants to friend me on Steam, I'm 9 of 12 there too. And I was just feeling like, oh, look, Rare Mole has it on his wish list. I'm just going to give it to him. I want to help my friend promote his game. Wish listed, even if you're not going to buy it, it can help his popularity.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to give away another one on Sunday. And I'll need to be friends with people to keep giving them away. So, but anyway, it's fun. Take a look. I'm so proud of him.
That's cool. That's really
and
awesome.
he's just a great guy. So I stayed up way too late last night, just being all excited because I was like, "Oh my god, it's live, it's there!"
Oh, for sure. And
and then I played it some.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, anyone listening, go definitely wish list it. Leave it a thumbs up if you play it. When you're an indie dev, literally every little bit helps. That's a hard slog. And dude, 10 years you said he was developing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
All by himself, and he's got the music is by some guys from his band.
Aw.
Yeah, he's put some folks in the credits like me and TV's Travis and Scott Johnson, because Scott Johnson did a special episode of Core, Core and More, where he interviewed Shane about making the game. And he's going to be on Part-Time Gamers with us on Sunday. And he's putting all those people in the credits, which is, I was like, the credits for what? We didn't do anything. They even help me find stuff and promote. And so that's a nice acknowledgement. And I think it does show, that he's got a team of supporters behind him. So
yeah, no, that's way better than any of my updates.
I have a cool friend. That's all I got, man.
Well, let's see. I've been watching the World Cup finally. I missed the first bit, the round of 48, which is more than normal for anyone that doesn't normally watch the World Cup. Normally it starts at 32. So we had more because, you know what? I don't even want to think about why. I'm guessing it was old rich guys going elbows and this will be more money. So I missed most of that. But I was able to get to watch the last round of 16, and then now we're in the as we're recording this, we're in the quarterfinals. So there's 8 was 8 teams left. France beat Morocco yesterday, which I went and saw at a Irish pub in Austin. I don't get out much because I live like North Austin, Round Rock area. So there's not like it's a lot of chain stuff around me. So I was actually kind of went into the what you would call like one of those revitalized neighborhoods in Austin where there's lots of high-rise apartments and walkable streets and it's all clean, which is nice. But there was an Irish pub there and like doing the best Irish in Austin since, and like I was like, going, oh, like since 1985? No, since like 2018 or something. Like it's our oldest Irish pub. I'm like, all right, well, it's not really an
Someday the sign will,
and
age.
it's
It'll
funny
age
because
well if they
it's
last.
very much colored on the outside like an English pub would be, with a lot of red decoration, which you
Huh.
normally don't see in an Irish pub. Which I'm like, screw it, I'm here to watch a game. Had some Guinness, which I haven't had Guinness in a long time, like actual regular Guinness. It was poured very well. It was just a nice experience. I enjoyed it. And
Nice.
and I've been building a sort of a bookshelf media center for all of my game consoles, because I've been gaming for a long time, and I have everything from Nintendo to the Switch. I don't have the Switch 2 yet. I don't have the PS5 yet, but I have like all of those plus a ton of handheld consoles, or like Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Thin, or Game Boy Pocket, uh, the DS, the 3DS, the 2DS, PSP. So I needed like a whole set of shelves, and I'm putting it adjacent to my current media TV setup, and I'm like halfway through building that. But yeah,
Fun.
it's been a lot of work, especially doing that by hand and like just drilling everything. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing and working on. Nerdy stuff, World Cup. But today, speaking of World Cup, somehow related. Oh, actually, so you know what? This is sort of related. So we're going to be talking about the Caipirinha, which is considered the national drink of Brazil, which next year for the Women's World Cup, Brazil will be hosting. So
Oh,
that's the
cool.
tie-in. And if no one's watched
Which
the
other
Women's World Cup,
countries?
just Brazil.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did they have like 3 countries doing it this year?
Because of old rich men rubbing elbows and going, this will make us more money.
Okay.
Or
3, right? It was Canada, Mexico, and
right. It was
US.
North America,
Right.
essentially,
Oh, okay. Well,
was the bit.
that's good. I'd prefer that than us being considered America. Can we just include everyone in balanced shell?
If you talk to people from other countries, especially Canada, and if you say, well, I'm American, they'll go, yeah, we are too. We're all in North America, dummy. I'm like, oh, shoot. Look, we don't teach geography very good.
Yeah, you have to say I'm American.
American.
But I'd rather not, thanks.
Right. You should say you're United Statesian. But even then, Mexico has United States within them. So you can't even really say there's a lot of fun semantic arguments that you'll get into if you leave the United States. Brazil. So, and watch Women's World Cup next year. The gameplay is as good, if not better, to be honest.
I bet they do less rolling around like they're dying.
I mean, they'll do it, but yeah, it's a bit less.
They think from some angle it might have looked like someone touched them.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of stuff, and my son's been raging on that. Like,
it's part of the game at this point. I'm always amazed.
From
like,
a hockey fan, I'm just like, stop.
But like, I enjoy.
And I played indoor soccer, which is actually rougher.
It's
so you can play off the boards. And
I was gonna say, like, it's a bit like hockey in the
and there's
the hitting
a lot more running
category.
and running, like, and not stopping. It's a shorter field, but there's a whole lot less stopping because it doesn't go out of bounds.
Yeah,
it's rough. No, you can't check. There was a hockey player on
but
my
I've seen
team,
people kind of like
and he
kind of run people into a wall. Like, they won't check them, but they'll like kind of like close the space so they're
get carded for that though.
Well,
I had a knee-to-knee collision in an indoor soccer game. It messed me up pretty bad.
I like my knees where they are.
That was bad. It's an awful noise. Worst noise ever.
I can feel the crunching in my knees.
Okay, Caipirinha.
Caipirinha. So, national drink of Brazil, but loved worldwide at this point. Thanks, maybe in some small part, to Fogo de Chao and its worldwide distribution, which is a Brazilian churrascaria steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have a friend who literally travels the world, and anytime he goes to a country that has a Fogo de Chao, he goes. I
Ah.
don't think it's that good, but good for him for having a hobby.
I've been to the Brazilian steakhouse, and when I was reading that, like, this is the drink you would have at one of those, I was like, yes, that sounds absolutely
Mhm.
like the right thing
Mhm.
with the lime, the whole lime muddled, to
Yeah.
be cutting through all that just meat.
Yeah. Oh, it's I love this cocktail. And like I said before, like, this is why I wanted it in this season. Uh, I'm trying to think of when I first heard of a caipirinha. To be honest, I think it was watching Anthony Bourdain on, like, one of his older shows. Not
Right?
the last CNN one, but at least the one before that, if not, because I wanna say he was on 4 different shows if you include, Cook's Tour. Um,
And
but I love them
no
all.
reservations. Yeah.
Yeah, no reservations. I can't remember what was before that. Either way, so, he talked about them quite often, and so the first time I went to a Brazilian steakhouse, I was like, "Ooh, let me get a caipirinha," and it hits so well, and it's just 3 ingredients. It's cachaça, which is a kind of a sugarcane-based rum, essentially. They ferment the sugarcane and, make, the cachaça from that. It's a crushed lime, and it's usually you use, sugar, like, just a couple tablespoons of sugar and ice. You skin the lime. I usually would take a knife and just kind of skin around the sides, going like top to bottom. Throw it in a glass, crush it up with a muddler, ice, sugar on that, cachaça, base, and then just fill it the rest with whatever the volume left in the glass is with the cachaça. And I would just take the whole glass, use that to top a shaker. So I would just shake it with the glass, shake the living sin out of it, and
Mm,
then pour it back in the glass. And so it's pulpy. You're going to get lots of lime bits and chunks. It's I Yeah, you know what? It's part of the experience. Like, I feel kinda dumb saying that, like it's a feature, not a bug, but it really is.
absolutely.
I will drink those until I get heartburn from the lime juice. They're that good, and I mean, it's like it's a proto sour, it's a pseudo daiquiri, but it works so well together. It almost doesn't need anything else. Like, as that, it's great.
True, true.
There's lots of mods and stuff out there, but I think it's really great.
So
Uh,
I can't believe I didn't latch onto it from my Bourdain love.
yeah.
And I'm a little mad. I feel like you've been sleeping on telling me about Cachaca. I'm gonna use the US pronunciation or whatever the is the American one is Cachaca. And I know you've been using
Cachaça, yeah,
Cachaça, which is supposed to be the
cachaça.
Brazilian, whatever. Um, and it's like I from reading about it would not really have appreciated it, what I got from actually trying it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be using this for a lot of things. It's a new love for me. I'm really glad. Like, dude, you should have told me about this like years ago. Like, why didn't we cover this in our first season of going through liquors, like spirits? Because I feel like it's kind of important. I mean, we were doing basics, right?
Yeah.
But how did it deserve maybe second season? Do something like the ones you haven't necessarily heard of, because
Mm,
it's a cousin of rum, but it definitely has its own thing
yeah,
going on that does something in this drink the same way that it's different than, okay, it's a daiquiri, but muddling the whole
fruit
rind
or
in
just
there too,
yeah.
but being
Normally, you don't do the
careful.
rind.
Yes, you do.
Norm
The whole lime.
Normally, you wouldn't. Normally, you'd skin it.
Every recipe I have seen,
I've
you
been
muddle
making
the
this for
whole
years.
wedges of lime in there.
Right. I've seen a lot of people say wedges,
I
and
looked
that's
up like 10 recipes and they
okay.
all, you cut up the lime in wedges, then you cut the wedges in half and you carefully muddle that with the sugar, not enough that you end up with bitterness, but getting that flavor from the rind in there is really, really different than just having the lime juice.
Yes, it is different.
It is
I've done it.
definitely, it
I've
gives it
done
a
it both
character that
ways.
is a whole different thing than if I had to use lime juice.
So what I'm saying, like normally I would take a whole lime and
Mhm.
run a knife down the outside, almost like you're like skinning a pineapple,
Mhm.
and you skin the lime that way, and then you throw the whole lime, but just without the skin, into a
Mm.
glass and crush it up that way.
No, everything I saw and the way I did it was just the actual chunks of lime, carefully
Right.
muddled with the sugar,
I've
and I didn't use a shaker either because they all said stir
what?
after adding the ice and then, the cachaca to stir, and
Oh,
I didn't really have room for that because I didn't have crushed ice, but so what I did was I dumped it back and forth with a pint glass to put in my original sturdy glass that I made it in.
wait, they said stir with crushed ice? Uh,
With
You said
ice, yeah. You add
oh,
ice to
yeah,
fill the
you said
glass and then
crushed.
stir it. Right. A lot use they serve it with stirred, but I guess that's after a strain, but, most of the recipes I looked at just leave all the lime right in there too, like
Yeah. I mean, definitely leave the lime in there. I saw the ones that said wedges, and I assumed that they were just going, like, with a bar like, normally in a bar, you already have pre-cut wedges, ready to go, so
mm.
that would be easier. I've
No, and I've got links in the
yeah,
stuff people can look at their own and I mean, decide what you want because there's a lot of you can customize. You can put more sugar, you can put more booze, you can put more lime.
yeah. Well,
Um,
if anyone decides to make it both ways, I've been making it that way because that's the way I saw it made when I first had one,
mhm,
and consequentially, like, anytime I've gone out and asked for a caipirinha, I've always had, like unless it was a bar that happened to have cachaça, but if it was Brazilian in theme, they would always cut it up or slice out the skin off a lime, throw it in
hmm.
their hole and crush it. Um,
Now I was going with like stuff like restaurateurs and the origins of the drink and stuff, and it was just
mhm,
like cutting up the lines, throwing in there, muddle them, which makes sense when you're talking about whatever in the fields where this drink came from, which we'll talk about. That you would just throw the whole thing in there and mush it up with some sugar and throw the booze in.
yeah,
So I it's most of what I saw. It's what I went with, and I freaking love it. Maybe I'll
yeah,
try it your way next. I think it'll just be maybe a little lighter. I like the complexity that the having the rind in there gave it, like the
yeah.
oils
Well, if
from it.
yeah, I can see where that would come in nicely. But so
But you'd
I
have
would
to be more careful because if
right,
you muddle it too hard, it'll get bitter, and you do need to muddle it enough the sugar dissolves.
yeah. I would well, so okay, so this is interesting. I in that because I would say like I would like crush it up pretty well, more than I would like muddle an orange for an old fashioned because I don't want like all the pulpy bits in one of those.
Hmm.
But if you're for me when you're making caipirinha and you skin it, you throw in the whole bit, you crush that whole bit, and then when you're shaking it, like for me that helps distribute, especially like the I would just do like granulated white sugar. Um, if you're doing that, it would help distribute the sugar more, mix it in, and you would have more lime juice, I think, overall in that cocktail. So you might get less subtlety of the lemon rind, but you might get more lime juice overall.
I got so much juice. I was really, really surprised.
Okay.
The recipe I used was whoa, 2 limes.
2 whole limes?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut into wedges, 2
Mhm.
tablespoons of sugar, and
Okay.
when I muddled it up between the sugar, what it'll do to start breaking down those membranes and the muddling, it gave me a lot of juice. I was happily surprised because I was questionable, like, "Is that gonna be enough lime juice to, like, handle 2 ounces of liquor?" And it really, really was. It is perfectly balanced.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested that yours was a little different, that what you've been doing. Because, like I said, like, all the recipes I found, they're just using lime wedges. So,
Yeah.
huh.
So the origins of the cocktail
Yeah.
also disputed or unknown a bit. Uh, The word cachaça is kind of translates to little countryside drink. And caipirinha is the diminutive form of the word caipira, which is the name for people from Sao Paulo, Brazil. There's one. I read a couple stories. One was that the drink could have originated in Paraty, Sao Paulo, Brazil, using green lemons instead of limes, because in Brazil there's not really distinction, or there's not really limes. There's just green lemons. But it's considered totally fine to just use limes now. I found one account claiming that it was created as a remedy for the Spanish flu in 1918. And that version was a mix of lime, aka green lemons, which had good vitamin C in it, honey, garlic, and cachaça. And that story was saying that later evolved to include lime and ice, and the drink we now know. I found another source that said it was a cure for the Spanish flu that originated in Portugal. Brazil, Portuguese language. So some tie in there. And that in Brazil, the caipirinha was created for socialites to drink at like parties and nice affairs. And then that one already had the sugar and the green lemon in there. And it made sense since sugarcane and cachaça are both made in Brazil. So sort of a national pride celebration kind of drink. And then one of the stories I was reading also saying that cachaça and alcohol helped with the absorption of the flu remedy in that thread through line thing, which
yeah, I saw some stuff about that history and like literally calling it the flu shot.
Honestly, I just kept thinking
like, because this is before they added, ice and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you just take your medicine.
Keep that in mind if I get the flu again.
I don't know if you've ever seen. There's clips of Arnold Schwarzenegger online making like a protein shake, and he would always put schnapps from like Austrian schnapps in there. So you put the schnapps just a little bit, and he pours half a bottle. But he's also put in like 14 scoops of protein powder, and this helps with the absorption. So there's at least more than one practitioner out there going, like, "Oh yeah, no, it helps you. It helps you with the uptake."
Arnold Schwarzenegger's a healthcare practitioner.
Right? I mean, I don't know if I'd want to take that advice, but it's certainly a way to get more alcohol and more fun in your day.
Sure. I know alcohol does affect absorption of things. Like that's why you're not supposed to drink alcohol with certain medicines. It's not just the fact that it can be contraindicated or it's a added depressive effect or anything like that or sedative. Sometimes it can change the absorption. I had a problem with drinking when I first started thyroid medication. Because thyroid affects your metabolism, and I unthinkingly had a drink and was wasted immediately because it just absorbed really fast. Part of that from the medication and part of that from the alcohol, but it definitely compounded and caused a problem where I fell down and needed stitches from like 2 martinis. So yeah, read the labels.
They're there for a reason sometimes. Someone else tried doing that too.
Okay, so has it changed over the years or regionally? I feel like it's definitely worth going over because Cachaca a little because we didn't really cover the spirit previously, like we mentioned, and we did talk about that a little at the top of the show. I did try some plain.
Yes,
so I know what it was doing in my cocktail. The nose, you can smell like outright sugar, and I mentioned pre-show like it's a cousin of rum. Because it is distilled from sugarcane juice. Rum is distilled from sugarcane, sugar-making byproducts. Basically, they use the molasses and the things left over after. So rums originally were dark and heavy, and then evolved later into white rums, and they more distilling and they make it lighter. The cachaca is made from just the juice of the sugarcane when it's squeezed, which the theory I read is that, like, way back in, like, the 1500s, it's likely that sugar mill workers noticed that, like, if the sugar cane juice got left out, it would ferment, and so
Mm,
they would distill it, and then you get cachaca. So, it definitely has how did I put it before the show? Like, it still has something in the flavor and the character and the taste that the lightest rum loses.
yeah,
Isn't there anymore, where it's just you can just actual sugar flavor.
right. Yeah, it keeps that it sounds weird, but, like, that tongue feel. Like,
And the
I compared it to, like
grassiness
yeah.
I've heard it referred to that you don't get with any rum. So it's more clear spirit like gin or vodka. The aroma is raw sugar cane. It's got a it's not syrupy, but, like, there's something about the mouthfeel that does give you a little bit more than you would get with a vodka. Um, and we've talked I know what else? Lots of distilleries popped up in the 16th and 17th century. As a matter of fact, Portugal was, like, freaking out because it was competing with grappa,
Mm,
which is
which
made from byproducts of wine, and then they distill it.
right,
And I
yeah, they
actually
basically
there was one bottle sitting on clearance in the ABC, and I almost got it yesterday just
of
because, like, I've never had it.
grappa.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Should I
I
go
don't
back
see
and
that
get
very
it?
often.
I
If it's
I'm
not
like
that expensive, yeah.
and
Like, it's
it's
not gonna be great.
I think it was still yeah, and I paid, like, $30 for the one I did the, cachaca I
Mm,
did get, which, not bad. Um, but yeah, they were freaking out because it was, like, competing with that, but, uh, Brazil really laid it down with it has to be aged 1 year to be considered aged by Brazilian standards. Um, they where is it? Like we talked about with Mexico doing with tequila, Brazil
mhm.
has taken steps to designate that both the names Cachaca and Caipirinha are acknowledged as strictly Brazilian in origin, and the native name Cachaca will only be applied to products of Brazilian origin. So, this company that owns the one I got, which is Novo Fogo, I got a silver Cachaca, cost me about $30. It's really, really good.
Mm,
It's cultivated, all their products are cultivated and stuff in Brazil, it's distilled there, but it's the company itself, I think, is in Washington. I was happy to read about them today. I did put a link, I think, or I will in the show notes of this one. They're like carbon negative. Um,
mm,
their organic isn't just the surface, whatever, we got a certification. They've planted fruit trees so birds take care of their pests. They put their buildings on a mountainside so they don't have to use electricity to run things from still to still. They use the leftover distilling heat to preheat the next batch, and they were like restoring the rainforest in Brazil, which is a problem. So,
mhm.
and it's a really good product. There's now like 400,000 varieties, and it's the national drink. Which, after coming from such humble origins, where it was poor people drink, it was for slaves and
Right.
natives. Um, the other you mentioned the you know word. Where was it? Um,
Being the diminutive form of people from
right,
Hollow?
right. And I found and I put it in fun facts, but I guess it's not really fun. But it's the Brazilian Portuguese. The name seems to have come from the Brazilian Portuguese term caipira, which is sort of a translation of like yokel or redneck or hillbilly. That it was slang for that because it was the common folk drink. It's what the slaves who were working the sugarcane fields found out they could make from something where the juice got left out too long. But then it got really popular, and now it has like 4,000 varieties, and it's the national drink of Brazil, and you can get it from $15 a bottle to $400 a bottle, and they age it with different woods, and they've gone full
Right.
craft with this particular spirit. And I don't know that it needs all that. I thought this is a nice mid range to get a $30 bottle. Something is a decent a price for me. Like, it's not going to be trash, and I think it's freaking delicious. And I'm going to be putting it in a lot of things. Variations on the cocktail, like this is how it's evolved. Um, Basically, they tend toward a smash. I saw a lot of adding a
Yeah.
berry. I saw blackberry, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm doing that. Um, I saw places like to rim it with a lime sugar, which is
Hmm.
a great idea. And I can do that easily enough. You could do it even easier if you're taking the rind off anyway. Zest it first and throw it in some sugar and make a rim.
Yeah.
I think I'd like a tahini rim. Would be terrific.
Be interesting. Yeah.
Because
Um,
I like tahini has lime and pepper. In case people don't know, like it's a cayenne lime spice
yeah.
blend.
Was,
Um,
I think it was back in the Bourdain days.
yeah.
One episode where they were making it with culantro, which is basically like a long stem or like a long leaf. It kind of looks like a leaf from the top of a pineapple, but it
Hmm.
tastes like cilantro.
Hmm.
And they were throwing that in caipirinhas.
Ah,
I'm like,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I saw recommendations like use it in any drink you'd use rum or vodka in. I can't
Mhm.
disagree with that. Um, another one that caught my eye was pineapple juice and a little triple sec and some club soda.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, totally different drink, but interesting.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Sounds good. Yeah, totally different drinks. I did see a restaurateur who they like to throw a little mint on it. And yeah, this would
Mhm.
make a freaking great mojito. Like I think
Yeah.
it might be an improvement on rum for a mojito for sure.
Yeah.
To me anyway. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I could see that.
yeah. I saw like basically a Bloody Mary made with it,
Hmm.
and I I
I'm
feel like that would work because I like to make my own Bloody Mary anyway, and it's it would add without getting too sweet a sweet element, and I like to use V8 instead of tomato juice, so mine is less sweet anyway because of the celery juice and stuff in the V8.
mhm.
Um, but it would just change the balance a little, be really well, a Bloody Maria is just a Bloody Mary with rum.
I thought it was Bloody Mary with
Or is it
tequila.
tequila? There's one with rum. I think I've
Oh.
seen them both called that, but I've seen them made with rum. And
If
this would
if I've
be
made one, I was already drunk.
I'm probably gonna try it because I have a bottle of this now and I can
Oh, yeah,
experiment.
no, it'd be interesting, especially if you like a softer or a sweeter Bloody Mary. I could see that. Like, I'm used to spicy Bloody Marys and not
Oh
and
yeah,
this
I like to use Papar, like or pepper
mm,
infused vodka I make
yeah,
for Bloody Mary. I don't like when they over cayenne it because you can't taste anything else. But I do have
oh,
a
yeah,
bartender friend who had his own Bloody Mary mix, and he put like some yellow mustard in it, which I never would have thought would work, and it's
mhm,
amazing. And I feel like the Cachaca would be great with something like that because it's got that to go against the salty vinegar
yeah,
element in that. I feel it would be great in a Bloody Mary that had some mustard.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, those aren't really variations or changes to the caipirinha. The caipirinha basically some fruit, maybe some herbs. It doesn't really need changing. It stands alone. I call it something else. And there are a lot of different names for all these variations that have happened that are things that evolved from it. They're not really variations so much. It's very much its own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I do like, I've been places where like, "Oh, we're gonna throw a seasonal fruit in there." Very much like the smash that we talked about last episode, where it's just we're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna throw in whatever's fresh and local." Like,
Yeah.
"Alright, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that."
It's probably less it wouldn't work as well in the way that I'm doing it with the whole chunks of lime. Um
Well, maybe not, right? I'd be curious, both versions of doing it with lime and the fresh fruits, or subbing out the lime for just a ton of mashed up, not a ton, but an equal quantity of mashed up seasonal fruit, and if that would, how that would
Yeah.
play
Well,
out.
I ate all my berries. I've got watermelon, cantaloupe, and peaches in the house right now, and I don't see any of them working real well. Peaches maybe, but
I think I have a fresh coconut I can crack open.
I gotta make and I got pineapple juice in the fridge though, so that might be a
Mm.
go for tonight. I might use some Caipirinha, limes, pineapple juice, and like club soda, and throw some mint in there because I still have some mint from the watermelon mint feta salad I made the other day.
Ooh.
I may invent something for our book later or something.
So I know we have our non-alcoholic section, and
Yeah.
my first thought was no. Like I don't, even though like I love whiskey, and in our old fashioned episode I think it was, you're like, no, dude, just don't. And I'm like, no, it can be good. I've done it. But so on this side, I was like, I don't know, like it's such a simple cocktail. I have a hard time thinking about it. But my one caveat to that is Pitu, one of the producers of cachaça from Brazil. If you ever find a bottle, there's like a red shrimp on it. They
Why?
make a 0 proof cachaça, like from Brazil, from the same distillery.
Okay.
The only website, or because there's a lot of websites that review it. There's one website I was trying to find, like just see if I could buy it, and it was Austrian. So it might not. I don't think it's that widely available, but it exists. I would try it with that just to see if I could get it. Get a similar drink. Otherwise, I have a tough time with this particular cocktail thinking of it in a non-alcoholic sense.
Yeah. I was thinking about it too, and I was like, oh no, maybe an NA white rum, but then no, you're not. It's not. Cachaça is different. It is different. It is worth trying. It's really interesting. I think it's safe to say if you like rum, you like it. You might like it better. I like it better.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm gonna get my son to try it. I have a son who likes rum, but now he's taking the spice rums, and that's just a whole different.
Oh, that's a different boat. Yeah.
But I think basically it's a limeade, and
Yeah.
I do think that using like a raw sugar, like a morena, which is what I usually have in the house anyway, and to get that character of the flavor of the sugar and the vegetal quality that you won't from just your refined white sugar. And if you use like a raw sugar and actually muddle it with your limes to make a limeade, that's where you're going to get as close as you can to the character of this drink without having a spirit.
Huh. So now that you say that, like I've seen occasionally, depending on the stores that you go to, or that one might visit, like actual like raw sugar cane. It might be worth trying to actually muddle that in with it to get some of that sugarcane flavor, because it's slightly grassy.
And
It's
some
got
people
its own
use
taste.
to make sure all of the sugar gets dissolved. They use a simple for this. I don't think I'd recommended that because if you're muddling, at least with if you're muddling with the lime, just take your time and dissolve it.
For sure. I mean, yeah,
because you're going to lose the vegetal quality at all with a boil.
Yeah, and a lot of ones I've had, like there's usually a little residual granulated sugar in there, and it's, again, it feels like one of the charming parts of the drink, where you're getting the chunks of lime and the bits of sugar and the hit of cachaça.
Oh man, it's lovely. It's a new go-to for me for sure.
Yay.
But I think that muddling would be key to having it be mocktail level and not just limeade.
Yeah.
So, what else? Fun fact that Rube local hillbilly stuff. Did it come from there? Maybe. We got two different stories, but it seems likely because I did find it in like a couple different places, and it didn't end up footnoted in the wiki. Was the final source I settled on. Like, all right, I've seen this enough times that it's probably a thing.
Yeah, and
it makes sense with the origin of how this drink.
Yeah,
the spirit was invented.
It lines up with the translation, like little countryside drink, which I think is polite to say, like
exactly
hillbilly hooch. But like grappa was the same thing. Grappa was like what the farmers who were making wine drank because they couldn't afford the wine they were making.
Right.
So yeah, I think
So
that tracks.
it's the moonshine. It's a
Right.
nice way to put you're doing this illegally in the middle of the woods. Like, it's your port.
Oh yeah. I did have one other fun fact. I didn't write it in our notes, and it's another Bourdain thing. But one of the
I
episodes
gotta
when he's
just
in,
get my Saint Bourdain candle and keep it here because I feel like we talk about him more on this show than he ends up coming up in my food streaming.
I'll say a Cook's Tour came out. It was his first show. Came out when I was 17. So I basically got to grow up with him as an adult, watching him and going through all of his video journeys. I cried the day I found out that he passed. I
I tell
I
you how
was stuck.
flattered I was that my Saint Bourdain candle was a gift.
That's awesome,
Like, you love me, you know.
right? My brother met him,
Oh,
and I think the best part is he didn't know who he was till like afterwards. He's like, I think that was Anthony Bourdain, but just kind of had like a casual like, "What are you up to?" He's like, "Just having a drink."
oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm like, that sounds exactly right. That's the way that you should meet him, is just in passing and like, yeah, whatever. But from one of his episodes when he's in Brazil, a guy teaches him how to drink cachaça. And if you're someone who drinks a lot of straight alcohol, this is hilarious because the guy has a little shot glass, he pours him a little drink, and I'm doing. If you watch the video version of this, join us on Patreon. I'll do what he did, and he goes, "Okay, you have a drink. You suck in and you hold your breath, do the shot, and then exhale." Which, if you do that, and anyone that tastes alcohol, or if you ever had a beverage or alcohol rep, like I've had many, that keeps you from generally tasting it in a vast amount because you suck in your breath before it comes to your mouth, so you're not getting the espers or anything as it's going to your nose. Luckily, you aren't getting the giant heat burn that you would normally get from doing a shot. And cachaça has a good amount of heat on it, the feeling of alcohol on your palate. And then you exhale after you've swallowed. So you avoid a lot of that alcohol burn and some of the flavor. Like you get residual flavor on your palate, which is nice because cachaça lingers. We talked about this before the show. Like if you've ever eaten sugar packets as a kid, and like that feeling on your tongue after you've swallowed it, cachaça has that feeling on the back end. So you get that. But you avoid this whole middle section of tasting it. And okay, yeah, so you don't get the burn. It's an interesting way to drink it. You avoid
Huh.
some stuff, but you miss a lot of the character that I think is also fun about it. But yeah, so that's
It's
from
just a different kind of fun.
one
If
of the
you're a
Brazil
shots
episodes.
person, totally interested in that. I did find a link on YouTube to a video of Anthony Bourdain meets the Caipirinha man from Parts Unknown. So I put that in our show notes. I'm gonna enjoy that and maybe look for the instance you referred to somewhere because I'm always curious to try new things. I love this. This is a new favorite thing to put in my repertoire, and I don't like things too sweet. And this gives me culinarily like taste of sugar that I can appreciate without it just being something sweet. The spirit itself isn't sweet per se. Like it smells like sugar, but then it doesn't taste super sweet. Just gives a
Yeah.
depth to your drink. So anyway, try it. Let us know, folks. Chime in by emailing us at tippletheory@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, follow, and review us on the listening platform of your choice. Our next episode, we'll be talking about punches and jungle juice.
Yeah. Please check out patreon.com/Tipple Theory today, where you can become a supporter and get access to video of our cocktail of the week being made and other behind-the-scenes goodies. Thank you to Scott Gesser for writing our theme music that you're listening to right now. You can find him and links to his music at scottgesser.weebly.com. Nice.
Nice.